Why? Why can't women make decisions? They're just such indecisive creatures, right? Wrong. There's lots of guys who have problems making decisions too. Bet you didn't know that. To find out more about those guys out there, I'm one of them, that make those crazy things and can't make a decision. Stay tuned to the rest of this video. Women struggle with decisions, men struggle with decisions, but not to the same degree. It's all based on personality. Has nothing to do with gender. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Alex taught you something today. So let's get into this whole temperament discussion. We're going to talk about the 4 types of temperament. We're going to use the DISC model of human behavior today. And in the DISC model, you've got high D's, I's, S's, and C's, and we'll break all that down for you here in a moment. But it's all about how you're wired. It has nothing to do with you if you are female, male, or any of that kind of stuff. Now, culture can play an impact in that, and how you were raised and who your parents were and how they influenced you. But the majority of the time, it's about how you're wired that affects whether you are a good, solid, strong, quick decision maker, or you're a little bit slower to make decisions. So let's explore that a little bit more. Everyone's a unique blend of all 4 of these personality types that we're going to talk about today. Some people have just a little bit of some, and some people have a ton of others. So we'll break that down as we go. I can divide the world into 2 kinds of people: those folks who are outgoing and those folks who are reserved. Outgoing types never met a stranger, fast-paced, enthusiastic, optimistic, on the go, all the time, all the time. Their motto is, you can sleep when you're dead. I got things to do. Let's go, woohoo! So whether it be fun or getting things done, they're all about moving fast. Those reserved folks, man, they're a lot slower paced, taking their time with making decisions, taking their time before they speak, and they're just very, very steady. Never too high, never too low. And it's a beautiful quality. So in this pace mindset, when we're talking about outgoing people moving really, really fast and our reserved people moving really, really slow, obviously people that are going to move slower are going to make decisions a little bit slower. Now, as we're going to show you here in a minute, not every guy or gal is either reserved or outgoing or task or whatever. They're all going to be a unique blend of these things. So let's take this people versus task mentality. So our first division was outgoing versus reserved. Now we're talking about people versus task. A people-oriented person is all about caring and sharing and relationships and all the feel-good stuff that's out there, whether it be making people laugh or sharing a cry with someone or just being a really good listener. And then our task-oriented people, man, those people, they're all about getting things done. So they start their list of things for the day, 32 items long. They're not going to bed until all 32 are done. They're all about focus and processes and plans and goals and why are we doing this and the analytics behind decisions. People can't make decisions because they're wired to not make decisions. What do I mean by that? Well, an S or a C are going to be more reserved and they're going to be slower paced. In other words, they're going to be slower to make a decision. Why is that? It's very different from an S versus a C. Let's define those. A D is an outgoing, task-oriented person, okay? A dominant style, if you will. Never met a challenge they couldn't face, have to be in charge. That 50th yes is just one more step towards getting a no. Did I say that right? No, I didn't, because I'm an I, which is an inspiring type, and we're illogical. And so I was just illogical right there for a little bit when I get kind of bent out of shape and whatever. But man, we love having fun. We love making people laugh. We love inspiring folks and being around others all the time. Those S's are in that bottom right-hand quadrant, if you're looking at a graph. Those are our reserved and people-oriented folks. They're such great listeners. Very steady, super supportive. Give you the shirt off their back. They're mega kind. They love people, love helping others. Then we have our C's, our cautious types. They're reserved and task-oriented, and they're all about analytics and function and form and programs, organization. Think scientists, think accountants, think lawyers, doctors, those kind of people are really high C's. So getting back to this why the S's and C's don't make decisions very well, it's not that they don't make decisions well, they're just slower paced to make those decisions. So an S person is not wanting to make a decision because they don't want to offend everybody in the group. So for example, someone says, hey y'all, where do you want to go for dinner tonight? And S is not going to answer immediately. Whereas the I will be like, oh dude, Burger King, man, we're going. And the D's person, we're going to Olive Garden because they got a special this week and I'm going to go there because I got to get out and back to work. And so they are very focused with, again, the task part of it. The C's not going to answer because they don't have enough data. What restaurants do we have to choose from? Is it just Olive Garden and Burger King? And what about Taco Bell? What about Longhorn Steakhouse? What about some Japanese steakhouse where they cut the food up in front of you? What are all the options? What's the price point? Okay. Why am I going to go here versus there? Let's go check the ratings for all these restaurants. So the C's are super analytical about how they make decisions. So it's not a matter of they can't and the S's can't. It's just that the S's don't want to offend anyone. And the C's don't want to make a decision until they have all the facts. So where the D's and the I's can really make decisions and say, just it's whatever, a C and an S are never going to operate like that. So if you're asking this question, you're probably a D or an I if you came to this video, because you make decisions fast. Okay? You don't really think about the consequences, the ramifications of the decisions long term. You don't mind a little bit of calculated risk, but it is what it is. You're probably not an S or a C, because if you are an S or a C, you know that you are going to take your time and you're going to be a little bit slower to make those decisions, but your decisions are going to be well thought out and they're going to have good long-term consequences. So, are you a D, are you an I, an S, or a C? Again, links to the videos below in the description will go to that high D, high I, high S, and high C videos. And then if you want to really find out how you are, because again, this just kind of touches the surface of it, you need to take an assessment. And you can find links to the assessments in my store in the description below. There you can get a real good picture of who you are, and that's the first step to emotional intelligence. Understanding yourself, then others, then being able to adapt your behavior to meet those around you. Looking forward to seeing you on the next video.